And I want to give just one short reading right now from the chapter that deals with the worldview of hunter-gatherers, to give you a sense of what we can sort of gain from the book, and it's kind of helped us to get a sense of how there is such different ways of seeing not just the universe, but also how humans relate to each other. So, so the chapter is called The Giving Environment, and the world of the hunter-gatherers. And the first section is called The Riddle of the Scrawny Ox. And you'll see why in a minute. So, Christmas was approaching, and anthropologist Richard Lee wanted to give the best gift he could procure to the band of Kung foragers with whom he'd been living. They're foragers who live in Africa. The Kung, whose idea of Christmas was a celebration to, quote, praise the birth of white man's God chief, felt the season particularly appealing because of their trading neighbors' custom of slaughtering an ox for them to feast on. Lee decided to make them a gift of the biggest ox he could find, a fat, meaty giant. However, instead of gratitude, Lee was nonplussed to receive nothing but insults. It was the skinniest sack of guts and bones, they told him, they'd ever seen. Even while they spent 2 days feasting on it, they continued to mock his ox, complaining it was too thin to bother eating, and it gives us pain to be served such a scrawny thing. What was going on? Hunter-gatherers think and act in ways that are very different from, and sometimes incomprehensible to, our modern sensibilities. So then I go, for a few pages I talk about this notion of how hunter-gatherers, even though hunter-gatherers nowadays are few and far between, and you know that their cultures have been affected so much by whatever has gone on around them over thousands of years, but there's still our best way, by looking at current culture of hunter-gatherers, to feel into how 99% of human life had actually lived before the rise of agriculture, which was just about 10,000 years ago. So I talk a little bit about some of the different ways in which the hunter-gatherer worldview actually works. And then a few pages later, I come back to this riddle of the Scrawny Ox. So, only later did Richard Lee discover that this is the Kung's normal response when a hunter returns with a big kill. Rather than boasting about his kill, the hunter is expected to announce, I'm no good for hunting. I saw nothing at all, just a tiny little one. While the group that carries the meat back to camp cries out, you mean to say you've dragged us all the way out here in order to make us cart home your pile of bones? Lee's informant explained to him how this elaborate, counterintuitive ritual is designed to prevent the rise of arrogance in a hunter. When a young man kills much meat, he says, he comes to think of himself as a chief or a big man, and he thinks of the rest of us as his servants or inferiors. We can't accept this. We refuse one who boasts, for someday his pride will make him kill somebody. So we always speak of his meat as worthless. This way, we cool his heart and make him gentle. So we can see from this story how behavior that at first sight seems bizarre is actually a sophisticated form of social engineering that promotes sustainable community living. And as I was reading that, I was just wondering, who is there in today's society who could use a little bit of taking down like that? Increase a little bit of harmony around. Yeah, kind of hard to think who that might be.